presentation day. So before we begin, I just ask that you please turn off any electronic devices or cell phones that you may have in the room. The presentation will be 15 minutes long, followed by a 15-minute Q&A. Our timer, Jake, will notify you participants when we have 10 minutes left, 5 minutes left, 1 minute left, and 30 seconds remaining of the presentation. The timer will also notify the judges of the end of the Q&A session. So judging with us today, we have Christina Batista from LCI Education, Christine Boivin from Conan Wolf, Marie Lapointe, former executive from Rio Tinto. We have Sophie Boulanger from Bonjour, Monica Benedijak from KPMG, Eve Lemia-Larose from Sidley, and Joanne Boudia from Kennerville. So please join me in welcoming University of Southern California.
Chili Beans has come a long way from the one stall at the Mercado Mundo mixed stall market in Sao Paulo. Your brand is fun, it's exciting, inspirational, bold, and edgy. And it has developed a cult following that has led to a 22% market share in Brazil alone. Good afternoon. We are the University of Southern California. My name is Uday Chopra, and these are my teammates, Christopher Reisler, Kate Chian, and Tina Huang. And today we are here to tell you how to unlock the full potential of the American eye care market. And so, the reasons for this. So the Brazilian economy is in a slowdown. The real is tumbling, and most of the company's expenses are in USD. Today we're going to tell you how to mint dollars to fund your expenses. The key considerations here are that the founder, Kiato, wants to conquer the American market, and the key considerations to keep in mind are to maintain the internal culture of the company while expanding, and to communicate the true brand values to the American consumer. So we recommend the following strategies. Implement an online point of sale. The outreach and marketing strategy is going to be based on a kiosk-led expansion at events, and a marketing strategy that leverages the brand's ability to partner with celebrities and also offer price discounts to Generation Y and millennials who have the ability now to spend money on Chili Beans products, and as well as the millennials who are going to be able to afford it once they graduate from college. So the way our strategy works is that it's essentially a pyramid. The marketing strategy acts as the foundation for the branding and the outreach strategy, and that helps in increasing traffic for our online store. So why online? Most of the company's expenses in North America, in the American market, are towards land, rent, and other related expenses such as payroll. Okay, so the advantage of online is that the company is already seeing a 65% increase in their online sales. Furthermore, the customers are allowed to customize their order, see a wider range of merchandise, as well as the company is able to track data and perform analytics on this as well. So let me tell you why our online strategy is better than all the other online strategies I'm sure you have heard today. We follow a two-pronged approach. Firstly, a 3D visual trial system that allows customers to see in advance what the different products are going to look like on their face. It lets the customer try out multiple different products and allows them to post this on social media, as well as gives them recommendations based on their size, their facial dimensions, as well as their style choices. Next, we recommend the implementation of a try and buy system that my teammate Tina is going to elaborate on later. These are built on an already established model by India's Lenskart.com, which was founded in 2011, and it's already worth $1.2 billion by following these strategies. So I want to take you through the actual technology and what it's going to look like. So the first step, as you can see, that's me on the slides. The first step is you align your head with the frame, following which you move slowly left, then right, and after that you hold a plastic card to your face that allows the technology to get a good idea of the scale. Okay, so this is truly awesome. Let's go to the next slide. This is what it's going to look like. And we have different frames for this, left, right. And it actually looks like the glasses were on my face while I took that picture. So this gives you an idea of what the customer is going to see. The key advantages of this is that it's user-friendly, it alleviates any doubts and mitigates the risk that the customer does not know what the product is going to look like on them. And this is going to come with a grand total of 325 riyal, which is not much for technology like this. We have also identified a company called That in India that can create this software for you, and we also have an alternative that we can show to you in our appendix later on. I now invite my teammate Tina to talk to you a bit more about the try and buy strategy and further outreach and marketing strategies. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. So your customers will have a pretty good idea of what products they want after trying out those things on the 3D vision. Now they can take advantage of the try and buy system we recommend. This will send them the product they want to try on in 3 days and allow them after 10 days to decide their ultimate fit. They can then simply keep what they want and return the rest. This will create a win-win situation for you and your customers. Your customers will have more confidence in their purchase because they get longer time to decide on what they want. This will result in a higher purchase in high-priced product as well as a lower return rate. Since the process from selecting to purchasing can take up to 13 days, this prolongs your customer engagement, which will result in a stronger customer loyalty. All of these add up to your competitive advantage in the market. And also, it will only cost 4.75 real per customer. So in order to attract customers to your online website, we recommend you to host special events. Music is a huge part of Chili Beans' culture. Therefore, we recommend you to attend music festivals where you can approach all these fun crowds that are passionate about music, fashion, and art. More importantly, they're willing to pay, since they're already paying hundreds of US dollars to go to these events. And this will cover the demographic from 18 to 25 years old. So since Chili Beans already have stores in California, Las Vegas, and want to explore the area in Miami, which has a high Latino population, let's focus on these areas. In California, we recommend you to go into Outside and Coachella Music Festival, EDC Music Festival for Las Vegas, and for Miami, we recommend you to look at Ultra and Kaji Ultra. Each year, hundreds of thousands of people go to these events that covers a range of music genre, and these are the people you want to target. Since Chili Beans is looking to build another branding pillar in sports, where we also recommend you to look at sports competitions, where you can reach out to a fun crowd that leads the trend and is also passionate about sports, fashion, and music. Specifically, we recommend you to look at US Surf Open, which locates in Huntington Beach and had 600,000 attendees in 2015. Chili Beans kiosk will be perfect for these events due to the high mobility, low operating costs, and at the same time, you can take advantage of the 12 idle kiosks in US currently. And we recommend you to bring your event-specific product line, for example, a sports product line for US Surf Open, as well as your best sellers with these kiosks. We project around $450,000 real dollars for annual profit, and you can expect to expose your brand to 17,000 people, as well as attract 1,900 customers per year from these events. Now let's hear about university campaign strategy from Kit.
Thank you, Tina. First of all, let's take a look at your current collection. Rockefellers, Off the Runways, and street art. Those collections are very attractive to those population who are young, bold, and with moderate purchasing capability. So where you can find such a great collection of the population with such characteristic? College. We narrowed down the entire United States to 2 states, California and Florida, where it has the greatest student population and Latino demographic. As well as mentioned by Tina before, those states hold a lot of music events. And we're glad that we're gonna follow the 4-pillar proposition proposed by your company: sport, music, art, and fashion. But given the consideration of student activities, we will only prioritize sports, music, and art. As you may know, that the American college is very obsessed with football events. According to our research, averagely 50,000 people go to those football events. And we strongly recommend your company to hold a party after the biggest football events. And we will only invite 250 most popular student leaders to attend those parties. So for the music event, we recommend your company to have a tour bus located in the center of the campus. So the students have the great opportunity to look at your product, enjoy the product, and maybe purchase it. And for the arts event, we recommend your company to provide free food and free drinks with the logos of chili beans on them. It doesn't come from nothing. The students have 20 minutes to look at the brands, and those brands were printed in their brains. So those strategies come with two conditions. The first condition is a school ambassador. We'll meticulously choose this ambassador who are fun and passionate through interview, and we will look at their social media. And the second one, the student could only attend those parties, get the free food or drinks if they download the online Chili Plus application and register for an account. All this university campaign only costs your company 2 million Rias every year. So let's look at the implementation timeline of a university campaign incorporating the music and sports events. You can see from the timelines, we meticulously choose the university such as USC, UCLA, or Miami University, or Florida International University, who have the strong presence in the school in the sports part, or some school like a UCSD, UCI, who has a strong presence in the arts and the music part. And you can see from the implementation timeline, every month, every year, that your company, Chili Beans, will have a local event happening in both Florida and California. Now, I will pass on to my colleagues, Chris, who will walk you through another marketing strategy and the finance part. Thank you.
Thank you, Kit, for outlining the implementation timeline over the next year. What we see is very exciting is the possibility of using social media marketing in order to emphasize Chili Beans' position in each of these events. So what we're proposing is the usage of Geo Tags. So a Geo Tag is a specific filter in Snapchat that you can just swipe on over your selfie, and it'll say something along the lines of Chili Beans at Coachella, Chili Beans at University of Southern California or McGill. And then what will happen is it'll allow us to re-emphasize Chili Beans' connection to what each of these events represent within the four-pillar system. So, how do we know that this will be successful? Well, 60% of 13 to 34-year-olds in the United States currently use Snapchat, meaning you are going to be able to penetrate a market that is going to have a lot of spending power over the coming years. And this will cost around 72 reais per 1,000 clicks. So, now that we've managed to attract them on Snapchat, we've got to think about some celebrity collaborations that we're going to start looking at. So we've identified what we believe are 3 celebrities that emphasize Chili Beans' values. Of course, Elton John's very famous for his sunglasses, right? So we would like to have 3 different strategies, and we would select, depending on the celebrity, the appropriate strategy. So the first one being if that celebrity is performing at an event in the coming future. A perfect example of this is Elton John performing at Lollapalooza. Next would be a new line, very similar akin to your Beatles line, and we would approach artists and they would collaborate with us on that. And lastly, what we find very exciting is the possibility of approaching all 3 of them in order to use their position as leaders in order to emphasize the brand and spread its following. So as an example of the power of social media, I'd like to show you how many followers each of these people have as an aggregate. That's 44 million. Now, if we made the conservative estimate that if they made a posting and only 1% of the followers purchased a pair of sunglasses at $85 a pop, Chili Beans could realize a potential 134 million reais in revenue at an added expense of around 8 million reais in order to pay the celebrities. So now that we've attracted these customers to the online platform, how are we going to promote our products to them? So we have a few different promotion strategies to emphasize to take advantage of the different price sensitivities of the American consumer. So we believe that this can be done through bundling. We believe student discounts will be very important in the upcoming years, and also university giveaways, excuse me. So and we all see all of our strategies culminating in a doubling of revenue growth over the next year, 5 years, at a compounded annual growth rate of around 14%. So last thing we'd like to touch on is the cash flow solutions. So 20% of accounts receivable for Chili Beans are actually questionable. And so we believe implementing a more brotherly strategy with our franchisees, they are our partners, not just investors, in order to make the payment terms much easier, which will allow us to alleviate free cash flow problems and net working capital requirements. So, what we'd like to reiterate is the fact that we are going to use social media marketing in conjunction with events at universities, music festivals, and sports events, in conjunction with celebrity collaborations, in order to emphasize Chili Beans and allow Caíto Maya to gain a market in the US and conquer it like his dream 20 years ago. Thank you very much. You're now open the floor for questions.
I can start. I have a question. I have one ready. One second. So yeah, the brand is known for arts, culture, and fashion, and it is something that it will be. I'm not sure why you want to go into the sports segment, to be honest, because you're known for arts, culture, and fashion, and why would you want to change your identity in a market that you are not known? And also the sports market is very well, especially the surf market, is very well attached to some brands such as Quicksilver, Billabong, Oakley, and stuff. So I'm not sure why you want to go into a market that is pretty saturated to me and change your brand identity.
Okay, that's a great question. The reason why we wanted to go into sports is because in the case that Chili Beans stated they want to build a fourth pillar in sports, that's the biggest reason because the company wants to do it. And then at the same time, we have a great way to differentiate ourselves from the existing sports sunglasses because we also focus on music, art, and fashion, and this is how we're going to be able to sell to the customers.
In addition to that, Oakley, I believe Oakley's brand of sunglasses are sold at Quicksilver, Billabong, and their retail stores. So Oakley is higher priced. It's more like I think 120 to 150 US dollars. Our sunglasses are at 75. And in addition, we have the branding and style expertise to incorporate our music, fashion, and arts pillars onto the sunglasses and therefore cater to the sports segment via that route. Yeah.
If we go back to the questions on the first page of the case, actually second paragraph, one of them is what foreign markets should be prioritized? So how did you answer that question? And obviously you've decided to prioritize the US. Why is that, and why is it that all of the other international markets are completely uncovered in your plan?
First of all, I think you can see from the slides, we're not focusing so much on the Brazilian market. First of all, the Chili Beans already conquer over 20% of the market share. And given the consideration that the Brazilian economics is now shrinking, we don't strongly recommend you to spend more effort, time, or money on the market that your company already have a very strong presence in. And second, Chili Beans do not have so many prescription glasses in Brazil. But given the consideration that in the Brazilian, their regulation, they ask you can only get the prescription glasses if you have the prescription from the physics or your doctor, which is not which is not given the Chili Beans certain advantage in developing the prescription glasses in Brazil.
My question is actually not about the Brazilian market, but anything outside of Brazil.
Yep.
All of the other countries, Asia, Europe, the rest of Latin America. You've obviously decided to focus everything on the US. Why is that?
We wanted to do that mainly because of the CEO, because from the case presentation, we heard that the CEO really want to conquer the US, especially because he started his business from importing sunglasses from LA to Brazil, and we believe that it will align with his will.
Okay, and other than the fact that the CEO stated that that's what he wants, do you believe that this is the best strategy for Chili Bean?
Yes, definitely. They have the limited financial resources, and additionally, all their sales is converted back into Brazilian real. So with the currency depreciating and with their limited resources, we believe that just focusing on one market and prioritizing the US, that would be the most beneficial strategy for them to pursue.
So by not putting any more investment or emphasis on Brazil, are you guys worried that our Brazilian strength is going to decrease, and how are we going to finance everything that we're going to be doing in the US if our position in Brazil gets worse and worse?
So one thing that was highlighted was the fact that a lot of other franchisees from different companies are actually struggling, and this is an opportunity for Chili Beans actually to excel due to the financial success that these kiosks and different shops actually have associated with them. I believe a kiosk breaks even in a few months, and this is actually an opportunity for Chili Beans to get even more franchisees. If they're currently operating a business that does not work, they can apply to Chili Beans and actually improve their market share.
I have a question on one, just two clarifications. First, you have in your appendix slides that show a 5-year projection after applying the strategy, and I just want to understand, when I look at this, is this consolidated? Is this only one of the strategies? It says, what is the projected profit in the next 5 years after applying the strategy? Is it just one of the strategies? The next slide. Yeah, this one here. Is this all the strategies together? Is this one of the strategies?
This aggregates all of the different strategies.
And one last clarification, sorry. When you talk about your 3D, the 3D trial, that software, are you planning on purchasing the software? Are you planning on purchasing the company that produces the software? I think I just wanted to understand for the 325,000.
Yeah, so that is licensing the software from the company that has it.
Licensing, okay.
You're talking about celebrities collaboration, example in Elton John. Do you think really it's realistic to think that Elton John will be involved into the brand and want to just, bring in? Do you think it's realistic?
We believe it is realistic. Since Beatles is realistic, I believe a lot of artists are available to work with us. And at the same time, one advantage your company has is that your CEO has a strong connection in the music industry. So we believe, in addition to the monetary reward we're going to give them, there's also the personal connection on a different level.
There are a lot of festivals attended by Americans in South America. So how do you address that?
So one festival that we believe that we could take advantage of is there's right before Good Friday in a lot of South American countries we have Carnival and very similar events. And one of Chili Beans' core competencies is its ability also to market your Brazilianness with the brand. And so you could make a line for Carnival in order to emphasize your Brazilianness and also take advantage of events like that. This could be a global strategy per se.
For your celebrity collaboration, you are getting a number from 1% that could convert into sales. Did you find any evidence of former clothing / celebrity collaboration in the fashion world at least that converted that much? Because to me, it's a lot.
Yes, as you may know, Kim Kardashian's sister Kylie Jenner and Kendall Jenner has a collaboration series with Paxson, and the entire collection sold off. So for the 1% is a very conservative assumption of the people who are going to purchase the collection.
Okay.
I want to go back to the sports for a second. You mentioned that one of the kind of promotional things that you were thinking about to penetrate the sports market for the first time is to go to football events and kind of display the Chili logo on soft drinks and food-related items. But one of the things that we've had issues with the past is people in America, they don't know our brand, they don't know what Chili Beans is, and they think that it's a restaurant. Are you at all worried that putting our name on food items will maybe cause someone who, again, we're entering kind of a new area. We're entering sports in this section, so no one has really seen chili beans in sports before. They're going to see it on a food item. Are you not worried that maybe they're going to think it's food again?
I can answer that. That's actually a really good point. The way that we go about dealing with that would be that at these football events, the kiosk would actually be there. And at the kiosk, we'll have our sales representatives that have like an iPad that can direct the customer's attention to our online site. So that would help in clarifying that it's actually a sunglass and accessories brand rather than a food brand. But I see where that concern comes from.
That's why exactly we will have the school ambassador in each university. Those school ambassador will clarify that chili beans is actually a sunglasses or watch brand instead of the restaurant brand. Yeah.
We're focusing all of the efforts on targeting people to online, but we currently have 8 stores in the U.S. Is there anything that we're doing to track people to those stores, or we're closing them? What are we doing with them?
Okay, so we're gonna leave those stores there. We have a lot of marketing strategies, and these marketing strategies are gonna build brand building, which means it will also attract more customers to our current locations. For example, there's the huge shop on Santa Monica Street, and then when people walk by this place and they know our brand, then they will go inside and explore the products inside the store. So I believe our marketing strategies also serve the purpose of attracting customers into the current stores.
In addition to that, Tina was actually there in Santa Monica at the day we were leaving, and she walked past the store, and this is something that we discovered right now when we found out about the case. So the customers are not going to come into the store, as you rightly mentioned, because they don't know about the brand. We have to go out and reach the customer. So with our event-led strategy, having the kiosks there, then the customers have a better idea of the brand, and over time, that helps in-store sales as well.
And as well as we mentioned in the celebrity collaboration, those collections will only sell online, but there are also some certain other collections will only sold in the physical store, so which also drives the traffic to the existing store. Yeah.
We're down to 4 minutes.
Maybe one last question. So in Brazil, we've been very successful because we're a lifestyle brand, so we don't target a very specific demographic in terms of age. If we're entering the U.S. market and focusing on the 18 to 25, are you worried that people are going to graduate out of our brand as they grow older, and we're always going to be stuck with putting a lot of money and investment in marketing to university students through the years?
That's a very good question. So in the Q&A session, the catcher actually says that Kaito Maya want to breed the children. So what does that refers to? It means we inject the brand recognition to the college student when they are still in university, but they have the knowledge of the brand when they are in university. So even the graduate, we try to use all the strategy to consolidate our consumer base. So even when they're graduate, they're still gonna be a huge fan of the chili beans.
In addition, the power of these celebrity collaborations is a perfect solution to that issue, because say we had the Beatles collaboration, your company had the Beatles collaboration. That is particularly impressive because the Beatles attract a wide spectrum of fans. You have 65-year-old people who love the Beatles, and we have people who are just getting into them and can't stop playing them. And so what we see is an opportunity through these celebrity collaborations to keep customers for a longer time.
Question?
So we've talked a lot about the US, but obviously having a strong Brazilian market and solving the problems there is key to funding the international expansion. So there's some issues about with the currency risk of producing a lot in China. The Brazilian currency is very low compared to the US, and everything is big in the US. How do you address that? Do you see this as a major risk for the
So we see, so the Brazilian market has had a lot of troubles over the past year. We've got Petrobras, we've had corruption, we've had massive devaluation. And so we see the currency is essentially getting as cheap as it can possibly get right now. The currency was I believe it was, the exchange rate was 2.5 reais only a year and a half ago, and I had a lot of Brazilian friends, and they were very happy with how cheap things were, and now it's gotten considerably more expensive. So we see the outlook improving over the coming years.
And that's why we are implementing the strategy for the accounts receivable, the accounts accounts receivable problems in your company. As you can see from the slide, there's a change in net working capital. The net working capital is actually declining. The only reason is because we are actually decreasing the accounts receivable that would not be the accounts receivable. That's why that's why it is declining, and those will solve a lot of financial issues that existing in the Brazilian chili beans company.
We have a minute, so if there's a quick question.
We're good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.